Hi, I'm Rick Seymour, CEO of the Together We Stand Foundation.
And I'm Stephanie Shapiro, COO of the Together We Stand Foundation.
Together We Stand was created to recognize, thank, and pay tribute to patriotic Canadian military families. They are as much part of the armed forces as those who serve on the front lines. However, they do not wear uniform.
We began in 2017 with Operation Care Package, where we sent gift boxes filled with coupons and gift cards donated by corporate Canada to military families with a loved one deployed overseas during the holiday season.
The response to this initiative was overwhelmingly positive, with many of the recipient families saying that they had never before been acknowledged or thanked for their sacrifices. Building on the success of that year one, our organization continues to grow our Operation Care Package by including more meaningful, personal, impactful gifts for these diverse families across our country. In 2019, we decided it was time to find a way in which the organization and the country as a whole could thank all Canadian military families for their service to our country. So we set our sights on creating a nationally recognized day. We worked to have a unanimous consent motion passed through the House of Commons, producing Canada's first ever Military Family Appreciation Day. This is now celebrated each year on the third Friday in September.
2020 has been a challenging year for all of us, but for Canada's military families, the year has been particularly trying.
While the country shut down, the military stood steadfast, ready to deploy away from home, but also here at home on the front lines. This was evident from the over 1,700 members of Operation Laser who were summoned to support the COVID efforts in long-term care facilities in Quebec and Ontario. Operation Globe was the repatriation of Canadians back to Canada at the onset of the pandemic. TWS created Operation Emergency Fund, offering supplemental financial support to families finding themselves in hardship due to the pandemic. TWS stood with Canada's military families.
While Canada was in lockdown, military families lost their community. So we created the Command Post, a webcast series that featured military family members as guests. Knowing that military families are uniquely positioned to talk about isolation, we wanted to find them a way to connect with each other, to share their stories of resiliency with anyone who was feeling a sense of helplessness during the quarantine. Together We Stand stood with Canada's military families.
In April of this year, Canada lost 2 members of the RCAF and 4 members of the RCN with the horrific tragedy in the helicopter crash off the coast of Greece. This was shortly followed in May by death of Captain Jennifer Casey, who lost her life in the snowboard accident after the iconic team embarked on a mission to help our country heal. Canada was reminded of the ultimate liability our brave families must face when their loved one leaves home in the name of service. Then, in October, Corporal James Choi lost his life on a training exercise in Wingland.
These brave men and women left behind families, mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sons and daughters, and paid the ultimate price in the name of service to our country. In response to these tragedies, we created a social campaign to gather messages of support for the families and crew involved from Canadians across the country.
With these messages, we created custom flags, sending them to the families and crews directly affected by these devastating tragedies, as a small token of appreciation. We hope that they will serve as an everlasting reminder that their sacrifices as a family were not made in vain. Together We Stand stood with Canada's military family.
With the core focus of our foundation aiming to raise awareness and amplify acknowledgement of Canada's military families, we celebrated Military Family Appreciation Day in a way that not even COVID could stop us. This year on MFAD, we created a digital campaign called #HomePortChallenge, where we asked civilians, high-profile Canadians, the CAF community, politicians and celebrities to build a fort, share a video or note of thanks online to honor those who take care of things on the home front. The results were overwhelming and the participation was sensational. Together We Stand stood with Canada's military families.
Taking everything into account, this year has been nothing short of remarkable. Our families have stood strong, so have we. Together We Stand will continue to play the role of the only philanthropic organization to honor Canadian military families. This has been reinforced by the recognition of the Chief of the Defence Staff as an official philanthropic partner of the Canadian Armed Forces.
We will continue to remain agile, adjusting to the unique needs of the families as they arise, and ensuring that they're seen, heard, and acknowledged no matter where they come from. Together We Stand will always stand with Canada's military families. Will you?